We fall, we break, we fail. But then, we rise, we heal, we overcome. I choose to live by choice, not by chance. To be motivated, not manipulated. To be useful, not used. To make changes, not excuses. To excel, not compete. I choose self-esteem, not self-pity. I choose to listen to my inner voice, not the random opinions of others. I choose to do the things others will not, so I can continue to do the things others cannot. Fate whispers to the warrior, "You cannot withstand the storm." The warrior replied, "I am the storm."
This is Doc's Daily Dose, and you are a warrior.
Welcome to Doc's Daily Dose. I'm your host, Coach Doc. So I promised this. I said I would get on camera with my podcast because it's the way things go. And I use excuses like, well, mine is short form, so I don't know if video matters. I don't have all the right equipment. I don't really know what I'm doing. It's been a very long time. And they were just excuses, right? I had someone help me set up the lights, tell me that I need to do this. I even bought these lights, the Pivo swivel, the camera, all the other stuff months ago. But I just hesitated. I didn't do it. But I'm holding myself accountable. I made a promise to the folks that listen to me, to the folks that love me, to the folks that support me, that I would do this. So here we are. So, one, yeah, my equipment isn't the greatest, but I'll get there. Two, I don't really know what I'm doing with the lighting, even though I work in that world. I'm on camera. I never touch the stuff behind the camera. So I'll get there. Three, I have to figure out a way to connect the audio system and software I was using before that would, be clear and crisp for my podcast, just audio, to match with video, but I don't have it quite yet. But don't worry, I'll get there, okay? But this is my baby step. And then I'll take another one, right? Got to crawl before you walk, walk before you jog, and jog before you run. So here's the first episode. Me on camera. Doc's Daily Dose. And we'll see how it goes. Because I told you also, there's no more edits. No more. We're doing everything raw, live. We're not cutting anything. So whatever happens, kid comes flying in here, that's what we're dealing with. I mess up on my thoughts, that's what we're dealing with. So rock with me the way you always have, and I'll show you love back. So if you are new to this show, if you don't know anything about Doc's Daily Dose, basically what I do is I share observations and the reflections I have of those observations from throughout my week. I'm never going to tell you what to do. I might give you some advice on something. I might suggest you want to give this a try, but I'm never going to be like, you should do this thing. This is going to make your life better. You have to do this thing. This is the only way to manifest something. None of that. I'm just sharing me and my thoughts. Because really, the whole purpose of this podcast is just to get people to stop, stay still, breathe, and think for a second, and think for themselves. That's what I'm doing. And that's what I'm sharing is the thoughts that come from that thinking. So let's get to what happened this week. So sometimes a nugget of wisdom can come from nugget. And if you know what I'm talking about, a little inside joke, my middle son, Alum, we call him Nugget. And he is football player galore. He loves the sport. He's really, really good at it. I've been coaching for 18 years at the varsity level as a head coach and assistant head coach and D coordinator. I've been around football playing and coaching for over 30 years now. And not because he's my son, but just because he's got the thing, right? Like the athleticism, but also the charisma, the leadership. Like he's just got the thing. It's something not a lot of people have. You can see it. Everyone sees it. Okay. And so this year he's starting to get up into like that big boy football. He's in 7th grade. He's got, 1.5 years left before he's playing high school. And these kids are getting big. They just played a game the other day. Their nose guard, put it this way, a guy on defense who would tackle my son, who's about like 82 pounds. That dude was at least 6'1", 195 pounds. I mean, that's bigger than me, right? So he's out there playing with grown men, basically. And on top of that, he's at a new middle school where he was kind of nervous about starting and saying, like, how do I make new friends? He's been at the same school from kindergarten all the way through. This is his first year at a new school. And I was like, I told him, go talk to people. You see something in common, like, oh, I like your shoes, because he loves to rock shoes, especially Jordan. So he's like, I like your Jordan 4s or whatever. Like, I got mine. Like, where'd you get yours? Oh, why'd you pick that color? Or you see he loves to draw too. Like, you see someone drawing or doodling in their, little sketchbook, just be like, hey, that's cool what you're drawing, man. I love to draw and paint too. Like, what do you like to do? And spark up conversations. Just don't walk into the cafeteria and go sit in the corner or go into a classroom and never say anything. You got to speak, especially if you want to get some friends, right? But I said, but you know what also, son? Like, don't even worry about that. Because come lunchtime, come PE, and if your school has sports, all you got to do is go out there and do your thing. You'll immediately make friends. Like, it may sound kind of unfortunate that happens in our world, but if you can play ball and you can get recognized in that, people see your athleticism and skill. It's just like any other skill you got that shines. Once people see it, people will gravitate to you. And he has a good way of filling out people's energy and being like, I like this person's vibe. I don't like this person's vibe. So I trust him on that. I was like, people are going to know who you are and they're going to want to talk to you, right? So middle school, flag football came up and he's like, I want to try out. I was like, of course you do. But you also have tackle going on right now at the same time. It's like, yeah, but I really want to. What you were saying too about like finding more friends. And I'm like, yeah, I totally get it. So he tries out, makes the team, but the team is practicing every single day for flag. And he's got 3 practices a week for tackle, plus a game on Sundays. And in going through that game where big grown type men are out there trying to tackle you, it's beating up his body just like any other football player. You get bumps, you get bruises, you're sore, right? You're just tired and exhausted. And I told him, all right, look, your dream is to do this football thing and this art thing as your livelihood, right? Because I always tell them too, yes, you can make the NFL, you could be a Hall of Famer, you can do all of that, but usually your career is going to be over pretty young. Make sure you got something else that you really enjoy and know about yourself so that you can move into that path once sports is over. Even if you go that far, right? So he's got his art thing going on. And so I told him, like, with all of this going on, I'm not the type of dad to push you to do anything. If you want to do it, I'll support you. And if you want me to make you even better, especially in stuff that I know, like football and training, I'll champion you in that any day of the week. But that's got to be on you. You got to ask me. And so I was telling him, like, with the 2 football, teams that you're playing on, the level that everything's getting up to now, because people are getting bigger, faster, stronger, older, you really got to take care of your body. You really, really do. I'm talking about eating right, drinking your water. And right now it's in season, so we're not training like going out at 5 a.m., which we've never done anyways, because he's not about that, at least not yet. But during season, it's about maintenance and prevention, right? Like, we got to make sure your body's right, that you're stretching, you're eating well, you're drinking your water, doing all this stuff. And I was like, I can set something up for you, but you got to do it. I'm not going to yank you out of bed at 5 a.m. or 6 in the morning for you to do it. There's people out here who are really putting in the work, shoveling snow so they can do something outside because they want it that bad. You got to want it that bad. I'll put it together for you. And he kind of got this look on his face, right? And he was like, yeah, it's hard to like get up like that. And I won't lie. I was like, well, let me just put this together. And I got a little frustrated, right? And then so the next day, he didn't take any water to school, and he had a practice after school plus tackle practice after that. He didn't eat lunch that day at school because he said it was nasty. And I was like, well, did you take any of the snacks from home or anything else? Nope. He barely ate any of the breakfast I gave him. Like, I was heated. I was like, well, you say you want to do this thing. And I'm only upset because I see the talent in you, not as my son, but as a football coach. Like, I know what to look for, and you've got it. But it doesn't matter how much talent you have. It matters about how much work you put in with that talent. And you're not doing the little things. All I'm asking you to do is drink water, eat right, and get some stretching in when you wake up in the morning and before you go to sleep. Like, how hard is that? And so we kind of had this talk on the drive to school, which I normally try not to do. I don't want to send them off to school, in a bad way, and I don't want them to go to sleep in a bad way. But it happens. Hey, like, I'm not perfect. I get frustrated like every other parent. And this isn't a message for parents. This is a lesson overall. And so as I'm thinking about it, kind of feeling bad about how I approached it, I thought to myself, like, maybe he needs some help. Because I was considering help the fact that I'm laying out the program for you. Now you got to go do it. But as someone who is a coach and a fitness coach as well, I know I can give somebody a program all day. I got a challenge journal for 100 days that I've sent out for people to do things. And like, I know 99% of people don't finish that thing because they get it, motivated to do it, but then they're done. There's no accountability. There's no partner. There's no support. There's no help. Right? And so I've seen people all the time need that extra push, that extra help, which is why they hire that trainer. But I wasn't thinking like that when it came to my kids. I was thinking like, you got to have that grit, grind, that will within you. You got to do the thing. And I was like, maybe he just needs me to be there, because also I've given him the thing. And I'm like, well, you can find stretching videos on YouTube. Why can't I look those up? Why can't I stretch with him? So I picked him up from school and I told him, I had talked with your mom about this, and she suggested like maybe I should help you do that stuff. Like, would you want help? Would you feel comfortable with that? Would that be better for you? And without like me trying to explain what the help was, he was like, yes, please. And so what have we been doing? I was like, well, it's going to probably require you getting up like 15 minutes earlier. He's like, that's fine. Already committed. Already ready. He just didn't know where to start, what to do, and how to do it. He wanted somebody by his side to show him. And so I get him up 15 minutes earlier. He takes a shower, brushes his teeth, comes out. We hit a 30-minute yoga stretch together. By the way, shout out to Cassandra. I don't even know her last name. But if you don't know who Cassandra is with yoga on YouTube, she's fabulous. I use her every single morning and follow videos and watch those. That is keeping my body right. And so we do a workout with Cassandra, and then I make him some breakfast to make sure that he's eating right and not just getting, waffles with Nutella or something like that. But he gets them every now and then because he likes that. And we sit and chat and talk, maybe even watch some First Take in the morning together, because see what's going on in football season. I fill up his water bottle, see if he wants any snacks to take to school, get him to school. When I pick him up, come home, we're chilling, hanging out. Any kind of things he needs to ice or change, we do that. And then before bedtime, we do some push-ups, because that's what I normally do. And he decided he wanted to join with me. He's like, can I do the push-ups too? Because I told him originally we were just going to stretch before he went to bed. And he was like, can I do the push-ups too? And I was like, yeah, bro, you can totally do the push-ups. So now he's doing the push-ups with me, and then we go and do my Shaolin stretch that I used to do that I mastered a while back. Well, I say I mastered it. Basically, I remember it. It's memorized. I don't know if it's mastered, but it's memorized. And then he's off to bed. And this is the routine we got all the way through the week while he's in season and really putting his body through it. And it opened up my eyes to not just for parents, but for anyone. People want to change and they want to do certain things, but oftentimes they don't know what to do. And if you got a skill, you got a knowledge base that can actually help, don't just tell them. Show them. Be a part of their change if you can. Show up for them so that they can show up for themselves. That could apply for anything. At your job, You got someone who could use some help to kind of be better at the job they're doing, instead of being like, man, this person is horrible. They don't know what they're doing. Or like, God, I wish they would just, figure it out. Go show them if you know how to do it. Put them up on game. Get up their standards higher to what they need to be doing to help them and help you, and create a great relationship in the meantime. What about your love life and your relationship? Show your partner what you need by doing what you want for them in the way that they like it, to allow them to reciprocate that, to be their support for them. It's just a simple concept. But we think just telling someone to do something, bam, there it is. And I even thought I went a further step. I wrote it out for you on a piece of paper. Bam, there it is. Oh, you want another step? Here's the videos. Bam, there it is. When all he wanted was for someone to show him exactly what to do, what it looks like, what it feels like. And now, he's the one being like, all right, well, we're going to do our yoga. I got to go make sure to get my vitamin gummy. Like, yeah, no, I forgot my water bottle, but they give us one at lunch, so I kept that, and I kept filling it up throughout the day. And he's on point. He's on point because he's got an accountability partner. He's got someone there of support for him. And he's got someone there to show him the things that he doesn't know. And I guarantee you, before it's all said and done, he's going to be teaching and supporting someone else. And I also see that his little brother is watching. Sooner or later, he's going to jump in as well. All you need is a little support. Seek it out, ask for it, and tell the person exactly what you need. And if you're the one who has the knowledge and the skill base to give the support, don't just say what needs to be done. Show somebody. Show them, don't tell them. Be there with them and for them. Don't just be there to manage them. Be there to be a part of the experience. You may find yourself with a new best friend or a whole new skill set for yourself and for that other person. I appreciate you. Thanks for the first episode. Much love always.
Be grateful for adversity, for it forces the human spirit to grow. For surely, the human character is formed not in the absence of difficulty, but in our response to difficulty.
Thank you for listening to Doc's Daily Dose. I truly appreciate you. The ability to be honest and show strength and vulnerability doesn't happen without you pressing play. If you've got any suggestions, any ideas, or simply want to help make this show bigger and better, at the end of the show notes here, please feel free to donate and support Doc's Daily Dose. If you've got any questions that you want me to answer on the podcast, well, hit me up. A simple email, coachdoc@muchlovealways.com. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter on muchlovealways.com and check out anything else on the website. Again, I'm truly thankful for you. Much love always.